me, LHMusic. Guess what? You know what I'm talking about. It's Noalia. It's talking about all of you on camera, as far as we're concerned. As far as we're concerned. Trust us. Anyways, we have a great show here today as well for a very special Noalia Thursday edition of, you guessed it, that's right, LH Music's World Wednesdays. So you have no clue whatsoever. So trust me about this first we're concerned. So we're gonna get inside part hour number one. It's gotta be part one. And you might think it's so smart about Rosie O'Donnell take a huge drastic measure about stopping herself from transgendering. Yeah, teenager. Well, you have no objection whatsoever. And so is Graham Plattner's replacement could be a violence. Well, you guessed it. You have no idea whatsoever about this one, and so is the WNBA gives an awful update about that as far as we're concerned about these things. Trust us. Oh boy, and what about Oh yes, breaking news: Luigi Mangione pleads guilty in this New York Times report. Oh gosh, who knows? Give us a list. And what have I told you? That horrific Abdul Al Said makes a, oh boy, admissions to this Medicare for all, scheming for this one. Oh yeah, that could, I'll tell you one thing is that could be ridiculous about this one. So you just have to trust us about this one. And you know what that means. Caroline Levitt leaves the White House, and that's why Trump has made a huge announcement, according to Truth Social, that that Caroline Levitt has uh, was pregnant, and she's born in a, yeah, he gets has a second child. So who knows? Give us the list. Was a little bit of sound bites, and don't forget hour number two. Here's what I'm showing you. Uh huh. That's me. Guess who? Yes, Laurel. And this is why I'm doing this for Noalia's Opera of Love. And you can, I saw this in the bulletin board, first floor, I guess the first level about this one. So you just said there just before for a while that you have no clue whatsoever. So trust me, yeah, and it's gonna be huge about this one. So I'll tell you about all about this. Noalia, and Opera of Love, and I'll give you the scenarios and all that stuff. So, because that to me about this one, according to WhatsApp on my smartphone, and I meant to say this. Oh boy, I'll be a part of it, along with Nola, and so is yes, Champagne ladies Nola, and so is Carol. I think she did originally composed with this opera thing. And thanks to Laura Petrie for and you have, wow. Oh boy. Why am I going to say this? Anyways, you gotta be kidding me with this new choral packet. So who knows who's the last? And so is the cast and crew and all that. So I'll explain this for hour number two, and you'll be glad you did. So who knows? Give us the last. But anyways, let's get this show on the road. You have no clue what news, and I have no clue. It's a very special Noalia Thursday edition of LH Music's World Wednesdays, live on YouTube, and it starts right now. So, Lee Greenwood, if you don't mind, please. And I gotta tell you, oh boy, I'm so excited about Noalia and Opera of Love. So I'll explain this for hour number two. So hang on to your hats. Oh boy, it's gonna be perfect. But let's get started, shall we, with three stories here that you already know about that, as far as we're concerned. Caroline Levitt has to leave the White House. Oh my gosh. That's right. That's right. Breaking news that President Trump says about this, according to Truth Social, has been announced. That you guessed it, White House Press Secretary Caroline Levitt has returned from maternity leave after giving birth to a huge second child, and that's why she will be resigning at the end of the month. But it will she will continue with advising his administration. And this is what happens about Caroline Levitt has a fiery presence at the White House, as far as we're concerned, or anything else can be civilized about that as well. So, with that said, about resigning from the post could be a huge second term. And this is what President Trump says, according to Truth Social, says that a wonderful White House press secretary is one of the most trusted aides, and that's why she is departing her role as press secretary, so she can spend more quality time with her beautiful young children and family, and that's and this is decision he's understanding and respect. So this is why the president says that she will continue to be one of the top outside advisors, and that is that she is, yeah, pregnant. As far as we're concerned, just remember this, who back in 2025 last year about as a huge news about Caroline Levitt, and this is, and I am so surprised about this one. And this is what happens to the, you know, all this about being pregnant, having a baby, or any of those civilized. So that she named a son named Nicholas Robert Rico. It's the same thing as, I guess, that her husband Nicholas Rico, or should I say, were married back in 2025. That was last year, and they have a 32-year gap between their ages, according to People Magazine. So that means she's turning 29 for this month, and that's why she's also the youngest person to serve. Yeah, that's right, White House press secretary. So I'm so proud of her, and I am. Oh boy, and oh boy, that could be awesome. Believe it or not, it does. So trust me about this one. Okay, that's story number one. Oh boy, I did post it on my website, LH Music's World website. So you gotta give it a try. So who knows? Okay, here it is, the updated version of, you guessed it. That's right. That's right. You know what that means. Yes. Oh yes. El Said could be danger for this emissions. So you have no clue about Medicare for all of the schemes. That's story number two. That I'll be posted later on tonight after this is over with, because this is horrific. And you might think it's also a Medicare. Yet the radical Islamic buffoon wants taxpayers on the hook for genital mutilations and more. Now, this is what happens about, you don't want to try this at all, because last week Michigan's Michigan Democratic primary last week has won, and that's why he came out for the top thing, because he vowed for fighting for expand Medicare, and yeah, that's right, and that's why he's gonna face Mike Rogers. Yes, great state of Michigan. Republican, yeah, that's yes, and all that. And his grandstand and his grand plans for finally under scrutiny. How could anybody else can be civilized? But here is a excerpt according to Twitter X, and I have no clue whatsoever about this one. Take a look and listen to this. Oh God, it makes my head spin. Oh God, clip it. Stop right there. Medicare for all. Oh God. Then I'll tell you one thing. It still makes sense. It really don't make sense about you believe everybody else can be patient needs according to their doctors, as far as we're concerned. Well, guess what? Because last Tuesday morning I went go to the doctor's appointment and gave me this I guess that patch. And let me show you. This is let me show you. Uh, you don't want to try this at home. You see this? This is the patch. And keep my blood sugar occupied with this one. And I know my dad's gonna take a look at those readings on my this one, and this one is gonna be obvious. So take a look at this. This is a monitor, and that's why the doctor just try to put this thing on my arm, and it keeps it last long about 15 days, and you got 132. So that that makes sense about this one. Trust us. But anyways, about average glucose, and I no so no no so yeah whatever it is. But anyways, speaking of this one, about yeah I know this Medicare for all. Why is everybody has Medicare? But according to this, yes, Greg Mons, yeah, that's right. Senior communications advisor for the GOP in Michigan told Blaze Media that Abdul El Sayed's extremely positions are breathtakingly radical, high taxes, and yeah, government control healthcare and all that. Well, does anybody else knows about these things? How dumb and stupid can you be? Well, who just noted about Nick Freitas, new Blaze TV host? Yes, making the argument about everybody who believes that try to subsidizing the chemical castration and surgical mutilations of confused kids. That's you see, that's right there, fixing it for him. Well, Senator Ted Cruz knows about this. Says that El Sayed's plot for funding sex rejection procedures what is going to be horrific. Taxpayers should castrated kids, or should I say castrated? Yeah, those kids. And today's democratic society, and this is what happens about you know all the taxpayers are horrific. And that's why Utah Senator Mike Lee spelled things out for this one, because he's a wish everybody knows he will yeah spell it out. He elaborated this, so that means El Sayed's notes could be elected to serve. He will oppose anything else considered some you try to criminalizing this could be funding cuts to stop healthcare providers. Well, the Trump administration has gone the distance in other direction about you guessed it this issue, and it always talks about last Tuesday's bearing for use of this Medicaid and children's health insurance and all that. Health and Human Services, you guessed it, Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says in a statement, these interventions carry serious risk and can cause an irreversible harm. Uh, the federal government will no longer use Medicaid and CHIP dollars to funding procedures that to fail the evidential standard for our children. And he's right. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is right. And here's my observation about the Associated Press, yeah, known as AP, the liberal news outlet, takes over to, yes, that NORC has conducted a poll that you know who. That's right. 66% of U.S. adults opposing yes, funding sex rejections. What's something to do with Medicare or Medicaid? And 53% of this one about adults opposing this. Well, it could be procedure drugs for the people, the age of 19. Well, here's my observation. Why Saeed only wants taxpayers to be civilized. Don't you agree with that? He said this last Sunday about this one. So it really don't make sense at all. Period. It really, really, really don't make sense about that as well. So here's my observation about this, about these things, about all the yeah, could be hating you guess that Michigan, Michigans, you guess what? And Pat Gray is so roundly is slamming the door of anything else can be civilized about that as well. So, but here's a flashback for anyone who's can be civilized about this one. Listen to this. Now I know. See how dumb and stupid can you be about this one? So who knows? Now, Kristen Welker, that no good for nothing bimbo anchor bimbo head babe, talks to El Said on Meet the Press last couple Sundays or wherever it is. I want you to take a look and see what happens about this one. Find a clip about this one. Here, So, here it is. Clip it right now. So, if you don't mind, listen to this from Kristen Wilker from Meet the Press. All right, let's do it. Now, here's the thing I don't even understand about. Yeah, that's right, Medicare and all that because this is so absurd to me, and it really don't even make sense. And all this horrific health care you have, everybody enjoys this, and the rest of the Democrats enjoys this one. And what if I told you that we as conservatives could say, what in God's name in vain? Talk about, yes, all the schemes of this administration, that is, it don't work. I'm sorry, it don't work at all. So, What else can we say about that? But who knows? All right, that's number two. And let's see. Breaking news that Lu- Luigi Mangione, yeah, expected to plead guilty, according to New York Times, the liberal media, about this one because I this is gonna be a warning that he plead guilty federal charges to escape state charges about this one. And that's why the man who all you remember this murder of a healthcare CEO on the streets of Manhattan, and just that's why he is one of the anti-capitalists and all that. And this is what he finally allegedly shot United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Well, back in 2024, and I like to know about that as well. So this is why he currently charges with two federal counts of stalking resulting in death. And New York State says that charging him is a second degree murderer. Among those charges, he's facing life in prison, narrowing to, yeah, that's right. Mhm. And if this 20-year-old plead guilty for his sentence, guess what? In this federal trial, because it would not be allowed to argue with this mental state inside this alleged crime. Now, the Times, yeah, reports that Mangione could still change his mind at any time, including the hearing. And the attorneys for Mangione and the Department of Justice declining that the New York Times has requested that Jamie McDonald is so wow, so absurd. But let me tell you something. What if I told you that Luigi spotted at McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, by another fast food customer, and doesn't resist that? Well, could be his backpack. Police allege found cash, fake ID, and guns similar to the gun who used to kill Thompson. Oh, really? Really? Because these parasites has no objection whatsoever. But among the evidence that the prosecutors cited that this 26-page manifesto could be the confess of this heinous crime. Some of the supporters taking to wear green hats instead of Luigi. Yeah, just imagine Super Mario Brothers video game really looks like. I have no clue whatsoever. And this is insane. Well, I got news for you. Those things that don't even make sense at all. Period. It don't even make sense. Trust us. Okay. So here's my observation about WNBA. Gives an awful. That's third last. That's this is the well. This is the third last story of the day. So here's your worst nightmare. What if I told you that give WNBA gives an awful update to meeting and establish gender eligibility rules about this? Well, for one time about this one, Caitlin, just like yes, Caitlin Clark knows about this because all the protesters and all that stuff, especially Sophia Cunningham, has taken the task force, said that it will be holding a meeting to discuss transgendering identification athletes and their eligibility in their league because all hands on deck with the president and general manager are gathering around linking officials, yes, last Wednesday tries to admit that the constant controversial in this whole world about the league and all the protesters and counter protests are just left WNBA swimming in incidents. Now, WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert sent a memo to the team that represents that this topic has been discussed, but the meeting has no conclusion at all. Well, who knows? But according to, yes, ESPN.com, this is what happens. This is what it says. Today's meeting has been wide inside this coverage. It could be a range of topics, you know what I'm saying, and ongoing discussions about transgender athletes, and continue to hold this hate and vitriol directed at the players. And we will continue with it. What do you mean we will be continue to lead this stakeholders? You have no idea whatsoever? Well, I have. The WNBA went on saying this. There is no immediate eligibility, just matters about this one. Because in 2027, the WNBA draft could be existing it. And you might think it's supposed about see you in training camp. Oh, wow. Former NBA center, Ennis Cantor Freedom, stands, yeah, 6, and the order 18 or whatever it is, 13 says, since the WNBA's 2026 could be agreement, but it doesn't require to provide a definition of this one, so you have no clue whatsoever. So here's according to Royce White, it says, "Oh my God! Now I'm now transgender. What transgender for what? Well, put America first. Well, that's oh boy, that's a totally insane thought about this one. But here's your worst nightmare. Jason Whitlock knows about this WNBA scandal about these things that you don't even make sense at all about this. So could be a huge incident of about this. Could be a crazy train. Let's take a look at this from Jason Whitlock from you guessed it, Fearless on Blaze TV. And here's what he has to say about this. It's more about this. More could be. Let's be honest about transgendering and all that. Well, who knows? Could be still less about this one. So let's not ask. Yeah, and Jason Whitlock is right. Let's not forget this at all. Well, of course, who really know about that? And can you define this? A woman or now men declaring for the draft? Well, must be crazy. Everybody must be out of their own minds. So, who knows? Okay, I got two more. Oh yes, Graham Plattner's replacement is could be a history of violence. Could be unearthly police reports has been revealed that yes, that Democrats has been swapped Graham Plattner for Troy Jackson in their Senate Platinum Senate nominee in Maine. Well, back in 1988, the reporter just raising questions about those violence in the past. Well, here's my observation for you. According to Bangor Daily News website, in the collaboration of Maine Monitor, just reported that Jackson was involved in assault uh, at home. But Jackson's girlfriend, Lana, has been roughly for 40 years, responding that Jackson tried to push her around and seeking to plan a cease harassment papers. Oh, Lord have mercy. And you have no clue whatsoever. Just remember Graham Planter wears a tattoo on his arm. You have no idea about that as well. And, all this could be making a lot of sense about these things because Planter's replacement just in Maine or whatever happens to this one. So everybody understands that as well because the allegations could be reportedly disturbing violence and all that stuff. Thanks to Chuck Hugh Schumer and Kristen Gillibrand for recording this. Oh God! But what about Chris Murphy? Are disqualifying this about the replacing the nominee or anything else from Celeste or whatever that happens. This is just a gag about these things or whatever happens. That could be obvious. Okay, here's the thing that you don't want to know about Rosie O'Donnell. Oh, wow. What if Rosie O'Donnell knows about drastic measures to stop herself from misgendering her non for her non-binary teenager? Oh, really? Huh? So you think it's so smart about drastic measures, haven't you? Uh, and you think it's so smart about gay celebrities' 13-year-old daughter about all this one? Well, could be a life to struggle about this one. Well, liberal idiot, bimblehead, Rosie O'Donnell continues to struggle, but according to New York Post, and that's why she is she's 60 years old and tries to admit that drastic measures, remember to call, well, her daughter them. Well, the teenager just would find it touching, but the girl doesn't even care at all. Well, here's a thing you don't want to know about Rosie O'Donnell, just according to Amy Poehler's, you guessed it, podcast show called Good Hang. And that's why Amy just told her daughter to would hold up a sign about you know him. They reminded her. And Amy says, I love that you're consistently correcting in real time like all we do. It's really no, it's not really beautiful, Amy. The only thing that happens is you don't even get it because Rosie O'Donnell, it really matters about this cardboard paper. And this is why she laughs. Oh boy. Could be dumb and stupid. The same thing as, yeah, that's right. It's the same thing as Jimmy Kimmel picks a host. Why is Jimmy Kimmel trying to pick a host at a time like this? And it really don't. I'm serious. It really don't make sense at all. And you have no clue whatsoever about this. Now, how many times I told you she moving on to Ireland back in, you guessed it, last year. She claimed that she would return once all Americans have equal rights. Yeah, whatever. And you know it's gonna be dumb and stupid, whatever it is. So ridiculous. But I meant to tell you this: what does it take for everything else to be civilized about Rosie O'Donnell? You have no clue whatsoever about these things or whatever happens to that. Because everybody is nothing about these things. Seriously, this is so dumb. You have no idea whatsoever about Rosie O'Donnell. And I know she's a comedian and an actress. Uh, and that's why Rosie slams the door on, yeah, George W. Bush about this. That's why you know. So absurd about this one. Hmm. Really, tell you what thing, it really makes like everybody's head spins or whatever happens about this one. So you don't want to try this at home or whatever happens. So who knows? Okay, how about a little bit of sound bites where everyone else can be civilized about this? So who knows? Anyways, let's see. John Doyle just asked the question: why is woke? Is it going away anytime soon? Well, the left has been merely rebranding this its message. And in a recent interview that you guessed it, AOC asking this positions of the Democratic, yeah, that's right, socialists. And I meant to tell you this, so ridiculous about this one. So let that sink in that woke two is well underway. Oh no, and because this insanity defending the police has been feminism and all that. And that is so absurd to me. Well, but I want you to take a look and listen to John Doyle as far as we're concerned about this one. So who knows who's us? Take a look, watch this. Yeah, and that's why it happens. That's what AOC is such a hypocrite. You don't even realize that at all. But who knows? All right, there's more to this story, and that is honoring Charlie Kirk came at a cost, but we're ostracized about this one. So Ali bet uh, Stucky about you guessed it, Clift and Stewart. Oh, well, I guess you know. Anyways, I want you to take a look at listen to this because it is relatable. Could be the evangelism is doubling down. Listen to this. Yes, and that, my friends, could be honoring Charlie Kirk for this reason and all that stuff. But maybe you ought to know by now. Could be impact of Charlie Kirk's death. Yeah, and all that because could be doubling down from this one forward, or maybe you just know about this. Okay, so what comes next on the list of things? Well, you have no idea whatsoever about, yeah, Fauci privately raised this miscarriage, considering no red flags among about this. Well, probably you have no objection whatsoever about the shots were safe for pregnant women. Oh, wow. And this is what happens to talk about the Fifth Amendment, revealing that a stark contrast between his private concerns and public statements about COVID 19 vaccines and pregnancy. Give me a break. And that's why, yeah, that's right. Rand Paul slammed the door on Dr. Fauci's, uh, you know, and all this. could be the reaction about this, about the whole uh, words of wisdom about Fauci's vaccines for pregnant women. You have no clue whatsoever. Take a look at what listeners from Stu and Dave do America, and here it is. Stop right there. That's 2021. But Stu and Dave analyzing this. Yeah, who knows? And it leaked it all over it about this one. Well, there's much you can say about COVID-19 vaccines and all that. Really comes to mind about these things. But well, could be define this one. Trust me. And let's see. Let's see. You have no clue whatsoever about all the. You guess that Sarah Gonzalez is trying to exposing Abdul Saeed's disturbing donor thing about this one, and oh gosh, Sarah Gonzalez exposing this Abdul Saeed's worst nightmare, and why don't you take? Well, that's why he just won the election. Then it's true, Muslim just came out, as far as we're concerned. Listen to this from this idiot. Well, give you a lesson. It don't make sense at all. Come on, it don't make sense at all. How dumb and stupid can you be? about all this Muslim, all this one. Whatever. Well, at least we all learn about all this. Trust us, so who knows who's the rest. Well, that's a part of the story, but somebody's got to do it about this. Okay, so finally, I give you one more, and that is you guessed it. Let's see. Oh yes, Francesca Jessica Hong. Oh, it could be yeah, won this Democratic primary thing that you don't want to know. Could be a huge communist about, yes, Democratic communist about on the rise for one candidate to another. It could be a political fringe skating across the country and all that. But Simons uh, about this, explaining about this whole scenario about this one, or maybe it happens so fast that you don't want to know about this socialist leader about this. Take a look, and this is from Ron Simmons. Um, that's why Francesca has canceled Thanksgiving. I have no clue whatsoever. Why is no more? Why won't she does this? Very stupid about all the things that she responds to. Also, time to be incredibly painful. No, 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 Francesca, you're absolutely wrong. It's not painful. It's people enjoy Thanksgiving just before Christmas starts, sharing, loving, and all that stuff with turkey and stuffing and all that stuff. So could be everything else. Everything could be civilized because the people have gathered around the table, and as everyone has been understood about this one. And you, Francesca, are so wrong. You are so wrong about that. Did you know that? I hope so. Well, I'm going to post this on this news stories on my website, LHMusicsWorld.weebly.com, so it's my Facebook page as well. But when we come back, I want to, here's my observation. When we come back, did you know that we did Noalia and the Opera of Love, at Trinity Episcopal Cathedral practices? So how we practice or practices that we just did? Well, probably according to my WhatsApp thing. So that could be interesting about this one. So I'll explain this for hour number two, the summer grabs. So who knows? Trust us. But anyways, we'll be right back with hour number two with Noelia and Opera of Love we'll have a little bit of fun and on what happens to this one. So who knows? Give us a list about this one. And quick announcement, and I'll be posting it on the website. So um, you know, and all that. Anyways, second hour, LH Music's World continues. Oh, sure, it's like LH Music's World Wednesdays special Noalia Thursday edition continues after this. So stay with us. There's more.